So this film comes at a time where we went through last summer with the police brutality protests that swept across the globe, and considering the violent insurrection last month at the Capitol, how does it feel to release a movie that's so timely for this moment that we're going through in history? How does it feel to have shot this movie and then everything happened and now it coming out when we're still like in this interesting period of time in history?
I think the best word that I could use is one that's recently begun circulating. Is that it's bittersweet. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have experienced, and it's such an honor and such a blessing. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that to have been able to step into these shoes and to highlight and to amplify this story that is so important. Shaka says all the time that he wanted to focus on how Chairman Fred lived, and I think that that is exactly what is done in the movie. So it's wonderful and so great to know that that is what we have done, and that's what we were able to take part in. But at the same time, it's deeply troubling and shameful and sad to see that it is so relevant, and to see that yeah, in 2019 when we did this, that a year and a half, 2 years later, that it is just as poignant as it was 50 years ago. That's wild. That should be unfathomable, but it's not. And so I think that that speaks to the need for unification, just as Chairman Fred sought it, and it also speaks to the need for action in ways that we have not seen action before, from people that we have not seen action from before. So.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, and just to piggyback off of what Dom was saying, I think it's definitely bittersweet, and I also think it's just divine. And I'll say that because we don't. When we were shooting that movie, we didn't know what lied ahead. We know the problems that we face in this country, and we know that any day it could be another black woman or a black man or a black young teenager that's gunned down by a police officer, because we just know how that system works. But we didn't know everything that we would be seeing and encountering. But it's very divine that we did this, because now, like you said, it swept across the globe. You know, it wasn't just us talking about it anymore. It was everybody. We saw everybody's feet on the ground. We saw every nationality's feet on the ground everywhere in the world. So that right there shows you that even what Fred Hampton was saying about the Rainbow Coalition and the unification of people, there's power wherever there's people, and it shows around the world. So I feel like it was very divine for us to be able to step into this, tell this message with this movie, and for it to be put out on a broad scale and involve who it has involved in it. Like, we have some heavy hitters, and Shaka King is an amazing director. Daniel Kaluuya, you got Lakeith, you got Ashton, you got Darrell, Dom, both the Doms, every Dom you can think of. But it's just like everybody plays a significant role, and I think it's just divine.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, just to piggyback on what Dom and Algee said, I think another term that's being thrown around a lot is this idea that there's two Americas, and there aren't two Americas. There's one America where Black and brown people are not treated fairly. And I think that we get into this weird space where, like, it's easy to say, well, there's another America. I don't exist in that America. Like, I'm with y'all. And it's like, no, we need to actually sit down and say, no, we do live in this one America where we are being hunted on a daily basis, where there is no justice served. I mean, 52 years ago, Chairman was assassinated in his bed, sleeping, minding his business. Last year, Breonna Taylor was assassinated in her bed, sleeping, minding her business. And in both cases, justice was not served. So we have come a long way, sure, but how far have we really come? You know, you hope that a film like this does create the conversation, but at some point, this conversation has to spark actual change, because we keep having the conversation, and we've been having the conversation for a long time, but it's like, let's exchange the conversation for some real change, because it's, where is it?
I don't really have too much to say. I think that all three of these guys really summed it up beautifully. I think the relevancy of this film, like Algee said, unfortunately, although it is on time, you know, and like Dominique said, it is unfortunate that we're still having to go through this in real life. It's not just in film, you know what I'm saying? It's not just history. And so, yeah, it definitely like you like have to take a step back and realize that, but also you have to understand that you're coming together to create this piece of history, and you're telling it in the most authentic way, even if the authentic way to do it is in relation to what's going on in the world, you know? And so, yeah.
I appreciate you for chatting with me, and I can't wait for everyone to see the film. And hopefully next time we talk, it'll be at an in-person junket again, and we don't have to do the Zoom thing. But thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Trey.
Peace, man.
See that Moonlight poster? Shout out to the King.
I didn't even notice it until you were talking. I was
Shout
like,
out to the
wait.
King.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey, that's Moonlight. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.